Greetings to my fellow members of the proud, elated, and relieved class of 2021, the professors and staff who gave us so much, and our families and friends whose astonishing support made our achievements possible. It is extremely unlikely that I would be speaking to you today, because all my life I have struggled with a form of autism that robs my mind of control over my body, even making it impossible to speak more than a few well-practiced words. People like me are easily dismissed as unintelligent and often not given the opportunity to be educated. But I am one of the fortunate ones. As yet there are far too few. And here I am, speaking, through a computer voice synthesizer, words that I have typed with one finger, one letter at a time. The same way I wrote my papers, the same way I typed my exams under the watchful and supportive eye of the Accessibility Services Office and the Accessible Education Office. It took grit and persistence, and that only makes me like every single one of my classmates. We all had to struggle and believe in ourselves, and lean far too much on the support of people who love us, and who dreamed that this day would come. Harvard is known all over the world for being nearly impossible to get into, and yet this amazing university also operates the most open school imaginable. Our school, where we are a community, united by our ability and our desire to do the work. And the work is extremely rigorous. I know, because I'm a connoisseur. Years ago, when I first learned to learn, I discovered that relating pieces of information to each other, what I now know, is called critical thinking, changed me in some way that helped lessen the hold that my autism had on me. So I came here for the rigor and the breadth in the hope that studying here would make me healthier. Like you, I studied with Harvard professors and people Harvard has invited from other places, such as a psychology professor from William James College and a foreign policy professor from the Naval Academy at Annapolis. I joined the special student program and took seminars at Harvard College. And all this was available to me simply because, like my classmates, I could do the work. We, the DCE class of 2021, are a formidable group, and there is probably very little that we cannot do. So what will we do now? It will be an amalgam. One part will be made of what we planned to do when we came here, get a better skill set and a diploma, so we can do better or more advanced work. But another part will be made of the ways the extension school has changed us, both by broadening our horizons and by focusing our vision. We have new skills, but have also developed new ideas about how we can deploy our skills. In my last extension school class, I met a woman who has a catering business and is developing ways to mitigate food insecurity in Oakland, California. And I know there are hundreds of smart, innovative, good people in our graduating class today. As for me, I will go to work tackling some of the mysteries of my kind of autism, work that will contribute to normalizing the communication of millions like me and also, I hope, shed some light on neurotypical brain functioning in areas like memory, initiative and the interplay of interdependence and independence. I will do work that helps others, because Harvard taught me that I can. For many of you, the idea that you can help others has always been obvious, and your studies enable you to be better at it. But for me, the belief that I could have a profession and really be of use came gradually. More than 6 years ago, I wrote in my application essay that, because critical thinking was so good for me, I wanted to study at Harvard for medicinal reasons. Harvard delivered and taught me to write and think clearly in a way I had never dreamed of. But something interesting happened along the way. Somehow, in all those literature and science classes, I started to see myself differently. Maybe because I was participating, maybe because the material broadened my scope, but Harvard also taught me that I can deliver. Harvard showed me how I can use my education to better the fate of the world I now realize I have a place in. Thank you, Harvard, by which I mean all of you people, just as you are, for teaching me inclusion. Because you included me, and never stigmatized me for my disability, never hurt me by excluding me, and, maybe more important, never hurt me by lowering your standards for me. I learned to include you, with all your priceless differences, and by extension, the whole world, neurotypical and neurodiverse, in my thinking. And I cannot wait to start giving back. Thank you.